Welcome back to Jeff Koinange live at the poolside of the Intercontinental Hotel. By the way, that promo you just saw right there, a new program right here, KTN, beginning this coming Friday. We're calling it Sikika Sasa. It is your voice, and we'll be starting in Machakos County, going around every county in the nation, thanks to the good folks at Mkeni wa Kenya and the UNDP. Continuing on JKL, Paula Char. He says, I think late-night political shows in Kenya just found a new star in Honorable Kariuki. He understands the essence of debate. Kwani Paul, unatafuta kazi nini? Si utume CV?
I believe he's being sincere.
Ah, boss. And Moses Kuria is not debating? He's not?
No, he's debating, but he's still Moses Kuria.
You know, Jeff,
yeah. A leopard never changes his spots. Is that what you're saying?
You know, I've been in this game for 22 years.
22?
Yeah, since I vied for student leader, treasurer of University of Nairobi.
And who were you with? Who was in your year?
My chairman was Kabando wa Kabando. And our predecessor, the guy who was there before Kabando, who was still in our team, was TJ Kajuang, who is his member for
Correct.
Raka. 22 years. I've never changed my style. I've been who I have been, and I'll continue to be who I am.
But let's face it,
yeah.
You didn't run in 2013.
Yeah.
You may have run in 17.
Yeah.
But roho safi uliangukia hii kitu bana. Roho safi.
Sasa, unajua nikipiga kula kwa bunge niko na kula moja, K1 niko na kula moja. Does it matter? Uangukie usiangukie.
You're still honorable.
You're still honorable.
Let me say something, Jeff. Huh? You know, we need to get to a point where if somebody is elected in Gatondo South via a TNA ticket, somebody else is elected in Madare via ODM, somebody else is elected in Western Province via UDF or any other party for that matter across the country, when we all converge in parliament, we need to reflect, you know, a servant type of leadership for our people that we represent, okay? Now, if we have ideas that will push the country forward, yeah, we should be willing to support them, regardless whether it came from a TNA side, from a UDF side, from NAC Kenya, or from wherever, okay? That is the mentality we need to have. We need to change our politics from personalities, okay, and move it towards issues and our people. How
do we get rid of the negative ethnicity? Because let's face it, we're becoming more and more, and you've seen it on social media. How do we get rid of that? How do we change minds?
It's a matter of us as leaders taking a brave step, and I call it a brave step because I'm a Kikuyu. I cherish my heritage of being a Kikuyu, but I take a brave step to embrace our brothers from other communities and treat them as equal, okay? Now, as leaders, we are the ones that people watch, we're the ones that people see, we're the ones that people want to be like, okay? So we have to take that brave step and say, look, these are our brothers and sisters, let us take this step of embracing them at every level, at every level.
Mheshimiwa, are you going to be more diplomatic? Because let's face it, there's a lot of hate on social media, and they hate on you. But before you became Mheshimiwa, you would hate back. Talk about everything from foreskin to everything you said. Are you going to be more diplomatic now? Are you going to deal with that as an elected member?
Are you suggesting I was not diplomatic?
No, you weren't. Okay. You were giving it right back to the man.
Oh, yeah, they can expect double hit back. double.
That's what we need to change. I wish we could be discussing issues and not
individuality.
Let me tell you something.
Go on.
If all of us would agree that I cannot blame all Kenyans' problems on Jeff Koinange, then we would do fine. But the problem in this country is that some people start already with some balances in their tribal accounts deposited by other people. So where you assume if you are a Kikuyu, already you are already tribal. You have to start by defending yourself. That's what I have refused consistently. that because I'm a Kikuyu, I'll always be deemed to be tribal before somebody else. So that now it is me to reduce my tribalism to zero. Halafu tuanze pamoja, we move forward. If all of us will start with 0 points, 0 Boga points on our tribal accounts, we'll be fine.
But I tell you, there's hope. There's hope. I'll tell you why.
Hold on, before you tell me, let's take a leaf from the young man. I mean, the 34-year-old, and that's a different thinking from us 40s.
That's exactly what I was going to address.
Is that where you're going?
That is exactly what I was
You and I are 40s, but you're younger than I am. But listen, they are thinking national. They're not thinking, I'm a Kikuyu, I'm proud to be a Kikuyu.
You know, Jeff, let me give you an example. This country, when Jomo Kenyatta was president of this country, at the dawn of independence, Jomo Kenyatta started as a Kikuyu. He talked to Odinga, who was a Luo. They talked to Ngara, who was a coastal guy. They talked to Muliro, who was a Luya guy. Then they created strong pillars. From those pillars, they build a nation. That's a more realistic approach. Rather than pretend we don't have tribes.
This is the 21st century, my brother. That was half a century ago.
Can I tell you something? I wish it's different, but the same argument would be valid today. We need to create strong pillars, then admit that there's nothing wrong with our pillars, but look at our pillars as raw materials for building a strong house called Kenya. It is called being non-pretentious. But I think if we follow the pretentious route, we are not going to go there because of our cultural affiliation, because of who we are as a people. We are still going to have to come from this tribe or that tribe. What we need to do is to see those tribes not as a curse or something bad, but as a stepping stone towards creating a good Kenya.
But this man here says he's proud to be what he is, but he's going to be all-inclusive. That's what he just said.
Yeah, but
it's a new generation.
There's no conflict. It is not mutually exclusive.
The tribe is not the issue.
Yeah, precisely.
Tribe is not an issue. Tribe is cultural, and it's a blessing. You don't choose what tribe you're born in.
Precisely.
Yeah? But how you treat the other tribes is what now brings about either negative ethnicity or positive ethnicity, for that matter. Now, in the younger generation, it's slowly dying out, especially in Nairobi. We're born and raised in Nairobi. You grow amongst fellow young men and women from other tribes. You don't even realize the tribe issue until you're of a certain age, okay? But I believe as a nation, we completely, if we want a future, we can think about the strong pillars across, which is good, but we also need to consider how to get the mentality of negative ethnicity out of our people, and mostly the older generation.
Totally, and that will start from when we believe that is a responsibility for all of us in this country, not some people.
Yes.
I think that has been the main stumbling block. Everybody has to say, me, if I'm a Luo or a Luya or a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin, it starts with me. And I will not start by assuming that the other guy is already tribal, because already they become defensive, once we do that. If we all agree to start from a clean slate and say, now, how can we use now our ethnicity, our different communities to be pillars for a better Kenya, a united Kenya?
Now I can support that.
You can support that. Good one. Let me ask you this. Your generation is the one that's very Twitter-friendly, very Facebook-friendly. They are very digital.
Yes.
They're also the ones responsible for a lot of the hate that's being spewed out there. Yes. What are you going to tell them now that you're an elected member of parliament? What do you tell those folks out there?
Unfortunately, they'll tweet, they'll Facebook negative matters to do with ethnicity in defending their leaders, okay, from both sides of the political divide. But when they finish tweeting and using Facebook, they'll go hang out with their friends who are from different tribes. You get my point? So it comes back to us as leaders again, to convey the message to our people, okay? You're defending me, but this is not the right way to defend me. Let us use a different means to defend what we believe in.
Would you tell the people of Mathare who didn't vote for you?
Join the winning side. Thank you for exercising your democratic right. Now I'm your elected member of parliament, and I'm ready and willing to serve you wholeheartedly. Whether you voted for me or not, whether you're in ODM or not, I'm willing to serve you and represent you wholeheartedly.
Yeah. What do you tell the people of Gatundu who didn't vote? Oh, I'm sorry. There's no election. I'm sorry, man. I keep forgetting.
I want to tell all the people who voted for me. You know, all the people of Gatondo voted for me.
All 60-something thousand?
All 60-something thousand voted for me in their hearts. I want to tell them that I'm going to work for all of them. And by the way, I've rolled up my sleeves. I'm down to work. That constituency will never be the same again. Make no mistake.
That's what you're saying now?
Yes.
Gatondo South will never be the same again?
Promise.
I'm going to hold you so much to account for that, man.
Do.
When I go to Shags, I'll be looking around.
And get a report from K1.
Taking notes.
And seeing how he's doing.
And come to the house and tell this guy.
Bring back the report.
Yeah, precisely. You see, with such kind of quality constituents, what else do you expect me to do? Come to think of it.
Any regrets?
None whatsoever. I'm the ambitious type, and I believe I'll make a difference not only in Madare but in this country. In this country.
Well, I'm looking forward. I think this parliament is changing, Jeff. It's going to change.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Chris Kariuki is calling us right now. I don't know whether to take this phone or not. Should I? Chris, we're live on air. Does he realize?
Oh.
Chris Kariuki.
No, I don't think he realizes, but maybe why not take a chance? But take a chance, you know?
DJ CK? Are you in the country? Yes, sir.
I like these two young people, and they are speaking together. They are agreeing in helping Kenya to move from tribal-based politics to what is useful to support the development of this nation.
All right, Chris. All right. Yeah. Chris, you are live on air, and they were on speakerphone. Look at him. Thank you, Chris. You heard what he said, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. We'll talk to you later, okay? We'll call you on the radio. Chris Kariuki there, saying he likes you guys. He likes the young generation. He's just come back from America. He had to let people know he was in Obama land. I guess he had to let people know.
I would have asked him whether he met Donald Trump.
Whether he met who?
Donald Trump. Because I find so much similarities between
Kariuki and Donald Trump.
And Donald Trump. But anyway, I think.
But he really appreciates what you guys are doing, by the way, which is really good.
Yeah.
You guys are the new generation. Whether, love you or leave you. But my one little, it's not really a problem, but my one little advice I'd give you is to tone down on the social media. Because if you attack an attack dog, you're not going to know the difference. Don't stoop to their level. That's the only thing I can say. And you're an elected leader. People are looking up to you now. You're an important person.
Jeff, I know a lot of people who take a lot of offense with your tweets.
With my tweets?
Oh my God. Some have had really to calm them down.
My tweets?
Some of them on the verge of rioting over your tweets. You'll never get it right. Don't take it back seriously. You'll never get everybody will happen.
Let me ask him. I wouldn't ask him to tone down.
Yeah.
What I would ask him to do is deal with issues. Don't tone down.
Yeah.
Put that energy into issues.
Okay.
Quisha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you'll be contributing more to the nation if we deal with issues.
So forget the nonsense.
Deal with issues.
The only thing I consider is like when I get mischief from their side, I consider it to be my religious duty to answer back.
But you won't get mischief.
And I don't want not to go to heaven.
Issues.
For good guys, I've got very good guys there. Do you know the Honorable John Bally, for example? I've never had an issue with John Bally. And he was with me in college. He was just a year or two behind me in college.
Who's behind you?
Yeah, he was behind me in college. And, I have a very good relationship with John Bally. And with a lot of people from ODM. But when they get that momentary lapse and forget about this country is more important than all of us, I consider it to be my religious duty to remind them. Really. So some people will take offense with that,
Sure. So what's to keep people from calling you the State House attack dog?
Well, I cannot control what they write, what they tweet, and whatever. I'll just say I'm going to do my duty. 1, to my people of Gatondo South, 2, to the people of this great nation, and 3, to my political party and my coalition, TNA and Jubilee. That's what I know. What they think, I really can't control that.
Any regrets about being part of ODM?
No, none whatsoever. I've since 2005, there is nothing else I've known. And that is where I got the political lessons and the political space to maneuver. And funny thing is, a lot of people in leadership today in different parties were originally in ODM. So it's not a bad thing.
True, true. And can you build it from within? Can you make it? And you know, and ODM says yes, it is a national party because it's all embracing. But can you make it more national? Can you encourage your generation?
We should, and not only ODM, but all the big political parties. I think we should put our energies in trying to put everyone on board. It's a difficult task because ODM has strongholds, TNA has strongholds. Now, for you to have a TNA MP elected in certain areas is almost an impossibility. For you to have an ODM MP elected in certain areas, it's also almost an impossibility. So we'll always have strong groupings of MPs from certain areas represented by certain political parties. But then within the political structures, we should make an effort to bring out the national picture, to embrace other people who don't come from our strongholds, and to bring in quality leadership. It pains me when you have leaders and MPs and senators who, for lack of better words, do not offer anything in the house, do not offer anything of value to the people of this nation. It pains me.
Marima, he says, congrats to my home MP, Moses Kuria. I like your boldness. At a governorship, we can give you unopposed.
Sitaki.
God help us.
Sitaki, I'm happy to be member of Parliament for Gatondo South. Now and forevermore, amen. I'm happy to continue representing the constituents of Jomo.
Okay.
And you know, I have one of the highest job satisfaction. If you do a survey, if you do a job satisfaction survey,
yes,
I think I'll score one of the highest.
Yeah, but who are you going to say you beat?
Yeah, I beat ignorance. You know, and all those are, you know, enemies don't have to be. I beat the first battle against disease, the first battle against poverty. Isn't that what we should aim to be our first enemy?
And let me tell you, in the next election, no one will remember that you went through such a process. They'll ask you, what have you done?
Thank you.
What have you done?
Yes.
This guy is making a lot of sense.
Nicholas Migot.
Strange enough for an ODM guy, but
he's making a lot of sense. In fact, Nicholas Migot says, K1 makes youth proud, young, sober, articulate, real issues in Kenya. Gentlemen, we have exactly 2 minutes to go. I'm going to have you guys give 1 minute summary going forward, starting with you, the youngest MP, and soon to be real MP because you're still MP elect. Go on. You got a minute.
People-oriented leadership for my constituents. A lot of energy and a lot of passion for my nation and support for issues that will make a better Kenya, regardless of whatever side of the political divide they come from. That's number one. Number two, CDF at the ward level. I don't know if the law allows it or not, but I'm going to make sure, even if the money has to come from my pocket, that I have CDF offices at every ward level with people representation from that ward, from different tribes, from different gender, have people with disabilities represented, have our women represented, and make sure that I am there for the people. I'm their servant, not their boss, period.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Sir.
I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference for those people. I want to make a difference for children who have their school time interrupted because they cannot pay the money. And I did promise the people of Gatondo South that no single child will miss school for lack of money. And the opportunity I got from my parents to go to school, that's why I'm sitting here with you. I want to ensure that every child in Gatondo South does get that opportunity. And hey, it is possible to have a CDF in every ward level. Yesterday we had our first CDF meeting, and that's the first thing I requested for, and it was approved. That I'm going to have a CDF office in every ward, so people don't have to travel, to Gatondo town and look for services, getting these people. So because we have a future, this country has got hope. Beyond all the referendum and all the noise and all the tribal and all the tweets and all the Facebooks, we do have a future, and I believe in Kenya Inc.
Kenya Inc.
Yes.
Like K1 says,
Like K1.
Kenya 1.
Yes.
Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the
Thanks
new
for the
house.
time. I appreciate
And
it.
thanks for coming, man. We'll see you
You're welcome. Good
in the
luck.
future, and we're going to hold you both accountable.
Kabisa.
Asante sana, Jeff.
Weshimua, both of you.
Thank you.
Your constituents
Sure.
are watching and listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moses Kuria, Member of Parliament for Gatundu South, and Stephen Kimani.
Kariuki.
Did I say Kimani? I'll say that again. Moses Kuria, Member of Parliament for Gatundu South, Stephen Kariuki, K1, Member of Parliament for Mathare constituency. Two of the latest MPs in the August House. Two young MPs, 34, 43 respectively. And yes, they're talking issues. They're talking about the future of Kenya. They're not talking negative ethnicity. They're not talking all the negative stuff. They're talking real issues. And this is what we mean when we talk about the future of this great nation. What a guest! Make that what guests! And yes, indeed, what a show it is. We're going to continue talking and we're going to continue keeping them accountable. In the meantime, tomorrow night, right here on JKL, if you haven't heard this gentleman play some country music, you're going to love Elvis. Have you guys ever seen Elvis?
Yeah.
Elvis at Reminisce at Wilson Airport? Elvis tomorrow night with his guitar singing some country music. I tell you, Gatundu South will be up.
Yeah.
So will Mathare. That's tomorrow night, right here on JKL. Same time, same place, only on KTN. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to continue tweeting, do that at Honorable Moses Kuria, at Kariuki K1, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is JKL. Thanks so much for watching. Good night. Good luck. Mheshimiwa,
Thank you, sir.
good stuff.
Thank you.
Well done.
Asante sana ndugu yangu.
Thank you. Asante pia.
What you do? Brother.